Good afternoon, and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at some pitching for today. It is Monday, the 8th of April. We do have a 9-game main slate this evening. No real weather issues to worry about, which is always good. We have some very interesting pitching options on this slate. Uh, Definitely better than I don't know, the last couple days really. So I'm pretty excited to be able to dig into some pitching today. I'm a little behind, busy day around my house, so just getting started. So this is the first look at the DK pitching options. Um, Reminder for FanDuel, I generally cut my DK pool in half. Uh, One, I don't think you have to go cheap ever on FanDuel for pitching unless there's just a huge misprice. uh, because pricing on bats and stacks isn't as sharp as it is on DraftKings. Um, so with that said, let's take a look at some guys that I'm looking at playing and then fading in this group of pitching options for the 9-game slate. At the top, I'm super interested in Blake Snell. Worried. All he was throwing was extended spring training games. K prop of 6.5. This is a massive minus 218 favorite, which is the largest on the slate, or tied with Charlie Morton for the largest on the slate. Um, Big difference between he and Charlie Morton. Morton plays in a game that has a total sitting at 10. This game for Snell, total sitting at 7.5 right now, which is tied for the lowest total on the board as well. So I'm intrigued. I'm worried. Like, there's a whole lot of feelings going on. Snell traditionally isn't the sharpest, especially early in the season. Control issues, um, but a solid matchup and a great ballpark for pitching. You wonder if maybe he pitches more to contact a little bit to begin the year, but even that, contact against Washington probably doesn't get hurt too much. Plus the ballpark, so I'm definitely intrigued. I'm not sure what to expect out of his ownership because he is just 300 more than Morton. As we mentioned, Morton's a gigantic favorite as well. The Mets have looked pretty bad. I wonder if people will just go with Morton for, I guess, the more known situation than Snell. Um, I want to use them both, to be honest, but uh, Snell is somebody that is going to intrigue me. If it turns out he's going to be super chalky for whatever reason, uh, then I might look to fade. He feels like one of those guys that super chalky Blake Snell probably isn't the most advantageous play of the slate, but uh, kind of looking down, all these other guys are really in play. Castillo, Eflin, Paxton, Darvish. This group here, I'm very interested. Maybe I remove Darvish. He does have a 6.5 K prop, which is really intriguing. Game total is just 7.5. He's a minus 142 favorite. Like, there's a lot of things that lean his way. Um, but I don't know that he has like this masterful performance. And to be honest, the Cubs' offense has been looked pretty good, uh, even against the Dodgers and some bad weather at home. They're still putting up some runs. So, Darvish is probably the first out of this group that I'd be looking to fade. Um, Maybe Luis Castillo, but Toronto's looked so bad. Castillo hasn't looked great in his two starts, though. Um, you know, that's going to be a tough one. That's one matchup I kind of need to dig into some more numbers. But he could find himself similar to Darvish, where I just may not be all that interested. I am interested in Paxton because the Twins are striking out a ton right now. And if you remember Paxton on the first video, I mentioned I want to use him a lot early in the season because I think he breaks down, ends up injured. I'm not hoping for an injury, but he just seems like that guy that can start out strong and then fades a little bit. So I want to take advantage of him. Sorry, I had to pause there to cough. So Paxton's definitely interesting because of the Twins' K rates of late. Um, Zach Eflin, not great. First start, shut down a difficult Texas offense. Not big K performances out of him, but I do like the matchup. We know the Angels are not overly strong offensively. Another one I kind of do want to dig into Eflin's home road splits from last year a little bit more, but I do like the upside for Eflin. Matchups better than even Castillo, better than Darvish. Um, Situations better than Zach Gallen, even better than Valdez. So um, I think I'm going to go with Eflin. Probably these two over Castillo and Darvish as I sit now. That obviously can change as I dig in more and more. I initially was very interested in Zach Gallen at 8,200. I do need to dig into his numbers in Coors. I know last year he was a much different pitcher on the road, which does worry me. He is a minus 170 favorite, but obviously Coors has the highest total on the slate. His K prop at 5.5, nothing huge, but it is in the top half of the slate. Um, yeah, I mean I'm a big Zach Gallen fan in general, but going into Colorado, um, not sure I want to get there. It is cooler. Wind is slightly blowing in, uh, but yeah, I'm just not sure if Gallen in Coors is an option. That's one where we definitely want to look at previous history for pitchers. Framber against this Texas squad. He's great against Toronto, but Toronto's really struggled. Was not good against the Yankees. I don't know that I want to go to Framber Valdez at Texas. Um, Kind of continuing a theme from last year. K prop is just 5.5 with juice on the under. He is a slight favorite, but the game total is sitting at 9. I just, started last year. I wasn't taking pitching in Texas, or the opponent's pitching in Texas, because that offense performed really well at home. Feels like another season where I might just start ignoring that part. I know Blanco kind of shut them down last night. Um, kind of leading the way of a little bounce back, but um, without Young in that lineup, that might be enough to sway me to use Valdez, but I just don't know. Ober, now thank you against the Dodgers after he was lit up by Kansas City. Not a great spot. Tyler Anderson is really intriguing. Dominated Miami. Tampa Bay's offense isn't the greatest in my eyes. I just don't know if I want to go there, especially because we get some guys down here uh, that I think are very viable options for 20 plus DK points on the slate. Asadi in San Diego uh, was dominating against Colorado, but Colorado's not good. San Diego's at least decent offensively. Um, but really, it's Barrios and Turnbull down here. Seattle strikes out plenty. The offense is pretty cold. Um, Coming off just a two strikeout performance, which is kind of annoying to see. There's just plenty of K upside for Barrios in this matchup. So I can't ignore Barrios at that price. 7,100 just feels like a steal. And maybe he's just going to be popular because of it. Game total of 8. He's a minus 120 favorite. Rocking a K prop of 6.5. Juice is on the under, but it's still a strong K prop for Barrios. So very interested there. Definitely interested in Turnbull. He's somebody that we've used over the years with the Tigers when he was on a bad team. Came out and looked great against the Reds team that uh, we've been using a lot DFS wise to start the season. So he looked great, and that intrigues me quite a bit. He is a slight road favorite. Total is up to 9 though, so that there's some worry there. Um, it's a great. It looks like it's going to be the warmest game on the slate. Slight wind blowing out to left field, but I'm interested in Turnbull at 6,900. That price point, The St. Louis lineup overall, I'm not too afraid of it. I mean, it does feel like a spot where St. Louis might wake up a little bit, but you know, status of like Contreras matters. Um, but the lineup. Gorman just woke up a little bit, but Wynn, uh, Scott, Burleson, like Walker's not swinging it very well. Like there's some weak spots in that lineup, so I'm definitely interested in Turnbull. I don't really want to chase the 27.5 that he just put up, but he is a viable option on the slate. Um, this combination I think might be a little more popular than we'd like because then it does allow people to pay up for 5-man stacks of Atlanta, of the Dodgers, etc. So that's something to take into consideration as well. Uh, which means I might try to avoid just pairing these two together, even though I probably plan on being pretty heavy on Barrios. Um, so it'll be interesting to see what the research does, as I dig in deeper and deeper here over the next 2 hours. But there we have it. There's my first look at the pitching for tonight's main slate. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to get an alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to get access to our coaches, tools, optimizer, sheets, Discord, I'll put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, it's RAZ, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.